Hello, good afternoon, people. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to this live video. You're very welcome to this video. As you guys can tell, we try to come on here live as much as possible to give you immigration updates, immigration news, immigration chats, just everything concerning U.S. immigration. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow our social media pages. If you're watching on Facebook, also don't forget to like the page and follow the page for all updates. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about two topics. Okay, we're going to be talking about the immigration reform, and then we will very briefly touch on the Haiti issue. So let's get into it. It's just going to be, a chat, an immigration law chat. It's not like some serious presentation. We're just going to be chatting, what the thoughts are, what the concerns are, what the, just what the legal tea on these matters are. So join in, guys. This will be, of course, a brief chat, and then we can all hop off and do our, go about our duties. So as you guys know, I already did a video on this, the fact that the Democrats were trying to bring about immigration reform through budget reconciliation, a process known as budget reconciliation, just so that they could avoid the filibuster where they needed a supermajority, that's 60 out of 100 votes in the Senate, because they just have 50, the Senate is 50-50 split, with Vice Kamala Harris breaking the tie. And so they don't have enough votes to actually go through the filibuster. So they're trying to use budget reconciliation to avoid having to do, having to amass 60 votes just to pass the immigration reform. So they wanted to include immigration reform to the budget reconciliation. And unfortunately, that did not pass. The Senate parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough said, no, immigration reform as we have it currently with the statutes that they have proposed, the amendments, will not really have a budgetary impact of the budget. The policy impact, far outweighs the budgetary impact. So she's not going to allow it. So that's what we've been talking about. What is the next move? What are the options that the Democrats have, because they really, really, really seem interested in passing this immigration reform. They want to have, undocumented immigrants, give them a pathway to adjust their status or a pathway to citizenship if we want to dream big, but at least just a pathway to for these people to adjust their statuses, the dreamers, people who came here when they were very young. We have the farm workers. We have, of course, the essential workers, these people that have been keeping the country clean and fed, the essential workers, 220 subcategories, and I think 18 major categories of people who are categorized as essential workers and who helped the country, go through the COVID when everybody else was hiding in their rooms trying to stay safe. These people were out there, farming. Well, the farm workers covers that. So they were cleaning, they were working in hospitals, they were, sending our foods to the stores, they were working in stores, they were just doing all sorts of jobs to keep America going. So all these people definitely need to be rewarded. So that Democrats are bent on, trying to find a pathway to legalization for them. And yes, unfortunately, we hit the roadblock. Let me just share a portion of the decision again. We reviewed some of a part of the decision the last time, guys. I'm rambling on and on. Please drop me your comments and let me hear from you guys. Okay. Let me hear from you guys. Drop me your comments where you're watching from. Drop me some emojis on how you are feeling, how it's vibing, how you're, how everything is today. And I will take a minute to read. Okay. Yep. So let's review another portion of her decision. The parliamentarian, you guys remember I discussed who the Senate parliamentarian is, McDonough. She is a non-partisan, and the The Senate is made up of Democrats and Republicans, 100 of them, and they need an arbiter who's a referee who is non-partisan to rule and give determinations on whether the Senate rules are being followed, okay, because they have to follow, lay down procedures and make sure they're actually interpreting the Senate Act very well, okay, so that they don't breach anything. So she's there to make sure that they are abiding within the confines of the rules that they are supposed to play with. So basically, you guys know with the budgetary, if you want to include anything in the budget reconciliation, it has to have a fiscal impact. So it has to be very heavily related to budget, spending, taxing, and it should not have just a merely incidental impact on the budget. And that's what McDonough ruled, that immigration reform does not really have a budgetary impact. And of course, she used the Byrd rule to define this. The Byrd rule means that if you are including anything in the budget, it should have a budgetary impact. It should have an impact on the budget some way, somehow. So if it's just just merely incidental, or it's a major policy change, then you cannot include it, okay? So we spoke about the fact that Elizabeth McDonough was also concerned that if it was, people could be granted status, people who are out of status could be granted status through budget reconciliation, then these people who have been granted status could also have their statuses rescinded or cancelled also through Senate, and that was worrying for her. And then also she also mentioned, let's just mention this very brief part. She states here that, okay, yeah, let's talk about the fact that in 2005 there was some budget reconciliation, immigration reform that happened through budget reconciliation. But then again, she mentions that those people, that type of immigration reform was not like this one. So that type was really simply more about it wasn't such a big policy change. It was, it wasn't life-changing. It wasn't like these people who were, who the budget affected in 2005 through the immigration reform. They did not have status. They already had status. It was just minor changes. But this one, it's going to be like really major life-changing, a life-changing reform, because people who don't have status at all will have to be granted status. I'm sorry, that's my pen that just dropped. Will have to be granted status through the immigration reform. And so that's like really life-changing. This is big. It's not, just something minor that has to do with more with budget. It has more to do with policy change. Okay, so now let's go here. It says that, so broadly speaking, as most of the beneficiaries of this policy change are not in status, there will be other life-changing federal, state, and societal benefits to having LPR status. So, for example, the ability to work anywhere in almost any job, the ability to obtain driver's license in any state, in-state tuition. That means, of course, going to school and then getting some sort of funding for your education. The ability to sponsor family members under the Immigration and Nationality Act, the ability to make campaign contributions, the freedom from the specter of deportation to the very country from which they fled. Many undocumented persons live and work in the shadows of our society out of fear of deportation. They are exploited. They face extra hurdles in the banking, housing sectors. They're often afraid to report that they're victims of crimes, on and on and on and on and on. Okay, so she was simply saying that all these things are not, they are really heavy things. They are not simple, like, oh, it's more a budgetary issue. She thinks that these are really big issues that should come from a collaborative effort in Senate, and not just one party should try to, just pass these types of life-changing rules by including it in a budget. Okay, so yeah, so she again goes on to say that there's the freedom to work, this LPR status that will be given to people who are undocumented will give them freedom to work, freedom to travel, freedom to live openly in the US, and it will make them eligible in time, of course, to apply for citizenship. Things for which there is no federal fiscal equivalent. Okay. So changing the law to clear the way to LPR status is tremendous and enduring policy change that dwarfs its budgetary impact. So as we've discussed, she's trying to just simply say that I mean, all these things, these are life changing, these are altering, these are huge, like changing the status, the immigration status of people. It's not a fiscal, it's not a fiscal issue, it's not a budgetary issue. It's an enduring policy change and should be done through the proper means. And for her, it's not appropriate to include this type of life altering, freedom giving, destiny changing type of immigration thing in a budget. Okay, so simply she's blocked it. And so now let's move on to the next thing. What are the alternatives that the Democrats have? What are they planning on doing now? We have Doris Ifa, who just dropped us an emoji, a love emoji. We love to see it. Thank you so much for dropping that emoji. Doris, how are you doing? Hope you are well. So, guys, yeah, back to the topic. So, people are saying that, oh, the parliamentarian should be fired. Elizabeth McDonough should be fired. Okay, yeah, that's an option. But again, the Democrats are saying that's really controversial and that's going to cause a huge racket. Like, oh gosh, it's just going to cause just too many problems, too controversial. And again, to fire her, they need majority vote to fire her. And not everybody, even on the Democrat side, agrees with this, budget inclusion, this immigration inclusion in the budget reconciliation. So it's going to be hard to find the majority of people to fire her. I think to fire her, they're probably going to need, hold on, about 60 votes. And of course, as you guys know, they don't have, the Democrats do not have those votes. And of course, even on the Democrat side, not everybody, as I said, hold on. Not everybody agrees with this. So clearly it's going to be, might not work. So, alrighty. So let's, I was trying to find the number of votes that they need to actually fire the Senate parliamentarian. I am not able to pull it up here. Okay, we can talk about that later. But yeah, it's not even an option because they figured that would just cause too many problems. And as you guys know, also the Democrats keep fighting amongst themselves. They need to present a united front. It's just like a very split Senate. It's 50-50. So if they have even two people that are not on their side, then they are in trouble. Okay, so, and already they do have some Democrats that are not on the side of, they don't agree with spending $107 billion just to kind of go through this immigration reform. Okay, and then there's the second issue of they want to get rid of the filibuster. Of course, that again will need a whole lot of procedures. They need also, again, everything is done by votes, so they need majority vote to be able to get rid of it, and they need to go through their procedures, and it's very complex because these are all put in place to make sure that the bills that are being passed and the laws that are being passed are collaborative efforts and are in the best interest of the country. So getting rid of the filibuster might also be very difficult and technical. Then again, they have the option to overrule of course, the parliamentarian, and they need 60 votes again to waive. That's a super majority to actually overrule her. And again, the numbers are not on their side, 50-50. And again, even with the 50, there are people who are within the Democrats that are fighting, don't agree. So that's also going to be very, very impossible. That leaves us with the one of the, well, nice options. It's the registry option. And with that, the registry, so there's currently the registry option of filing a green card. So you can actually file a green card if you came to the US if you came to the US before 1972. Okay, let me pull that up right here real quick, and then we can talk about that, and then talk about the fact that they are trying to change the date. Okay, the date. Okay, so the green card, so you can actually obtain green card through registry. So registry is a section of immigration law that enables individuals who have been present in the US since 1st January 1972. And then if you've been present in the US since 1972, 1st January, you can actually apply for a green card, even if you are unlawfully here in the United States. And what they're trying to do is actually to change the registry date. Okay, the possibility of actually changing the green card through registry date. And so they want to shift it from 1972 to maybe 2010, or who knows, to maybe January 2021. I don't know how viable that is, but that is one of the options that they are also reviewing. So let's look at the eligibility criteria for the green card registry. Of course, the current date in the Immigration and Nationality Act is 1972. So if you were here in the US 1st January 1972, and you are even unlawfully here, you can adjust your status, you can get a green card. So you should have entered the US prior to January 1st, 1972. You've resided in the US continuously since you entered. And then you're, of course, a person of good moral character. That's always there. Nobody wants a bad member of society, right? And then you are not ineligible for citizenship, meaning you qualify for US citizenship. And then you are not removable or deportable under Section 237 of the INA. Okay, so basically that's that. And so what these people are trying to do is to see the possibility of actually amending the Immigration and Nationality Act. I'm sorry, the section that contains the green card through registry, and then shifting the date. So that's a smart one. I don't know if that's going to fly, if that's going to work, but of course it's an option. We are looking at any option. And of course, again, if the Senate's parliamentarian rules that the change will present an enduring policy change that will drive its budgetary impact, then she may not allow it. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's see how hell-bent the Democrats are in trying to make sure that they find a path for legalization for undocumented immigrants. Also, so now let's move on to talk about the Haiti issue, guys. A few months ago, I mean, there has been some, lots of issues with Haiti. I mean, I think that they had an issue with their president, and they've had hold on, let me pull up this right here. Let me take this off. Can I? Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me pull this up here. There has been an earthquake in Haiti. There have been just a few crises, and so they were seeking to come. Some of them have been seeking to come to the US. Yes, they actually did assassinate the president. So I found it. Which one is okay? This document. Okay, found it right here. Let me share the screen, and then we can chat a bit more about Haiti, and then I can go off, stop screen, and then let's share this one. Guys, drop me your comments and your emojis if you don't feel like talking. I know how it is. Sometimes you're just watching a video and you don't feel like talking. Drop me your emojis, and then let's see. Okay, I have this right here. Let's share this one and chat about Haiti. Okay. Yeah. So let's just talk about it a little bit. So what's happening in Haiti is, so Haitians are, so it's a country, well, according to the news, they have extreme political, economic, and humanitarian problems. So apparently they just recently assassinated their president. Oh my gosh, that's That's extreme. And then there was a deadly earthquake, and there are no jobs. There's hunger. There's all of that, according to the news. I'm not in Haiti, so I can't speak for them. I know how sometimes the media will paint a certain picture that might not even be true. But that's it. There are issues in Haiti, really, really serious issues, and so they have been trying to come to the U.S. There are lots of them at the Texas border. And just recently, I think a couple of months ago, some weeks ago, President Joe Biden actually designated Haiti as a TPS country, and TPS is temporary protected status. So if there are some crises going on in the country, the United States can designate that country as a TPS. So what happens is that the people who are here from that country unlawfully will be granted TPS status, meaning that their country is unsafe to go to, and so they will be granted status to be able to work, sometimes for a period of 3 years. We're kind of giving them a home. So President Joe Biden designated Haiti as a TPS country. And so I think that some people back in Haiti may have misinterpreted it as, where, arms welcome, arms open, Haitians are welcome, come, let's give you a big hug. And so they all have rushed to the border to try to seek status or some, some help here in the US. Okay, so they came to the border, and they have been, there were pictures and videos of some of the immigrants being whipped with, I don't know what they were being whipped with, people on horses whipping them and kind of abusing them. And so there's a huge outcry. Hopefully that these people are treated more humanely, and hopefully there's no escalating issue. Some of them have actually been deported this morning. And of course, the US is using the coronavirus policy to actually prevent them from seeking asylum based on the fact that, it might lead to an outbreak and lead to some health crisis here in the US. So guys, that's about it. That's what's happening in immigration news, US immigration. Oh my gosh, it's always so full of lots of drama, but these are real lives, the lives of people. So I hope that they handle them properly. And that's that. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I hope you guys had fun on the legal hangout chat today. I will come again your way. And if you need my help, don't forget to call 802-780-0564. I will be very happy to assist you guys. Take care and have a wonderful rest of your day. Okay, bye.